creative process that I'm going to be doing from February until the end of April. And my plan is to document along the way and share at the end when I finally give the shawl to my partner in this shawl swap that I'm participating in. So the swap is called the Beltane swap because we're going to be giving our shawls at Beltane. Someone is knitting for me and I am going to be knitting for someone else, and I already know who that person is. I'm super excited, and luckily her description said that she likes any form of shawl, so I feel like I have creative liberty. So as I was finishing this brioche adventure, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed following patterns because I'm not really a pattern follower. And I thought, well, first I looked at a bunch of patterns. I found some really cool ones which were like good options, but then I thought, you know what? I think I want to create my own design. And there's a poem by John O Donohue which is called Fluent, and the poem goes, "I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding." And I thought I would love to knit as a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. I would love to just knit and flow with it and see what happens. And I know that people are like, oh my God, Nicole, that sounds crazy, especially if you have a deadline and something you're doing for someone else. But I believe in myself and I know I can do it. And I actually told the story of like this idea that I was having to knit something, and because of this poem that I have an agenda that I printed out, and I wrote poems on different weeks just like randomly throughout the planner. And when I saw that poem, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. That's how I feel about knitting. And I actually looked. John O Donohue has a book called Anam Cara, which in Gaelic means soul friend. And I feel like that's really special because I feel like all the people in this fiber community are my soul friends. And I thought, so the name of my pattern is going to be Anam Cara Shawl. And it's going to be brioche and it's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited. I actually signed up. Oh, sorry, getting ahead of myself. So I was telling the story in my Zoom meetup for the cake leggings that I was knitting at the end of 2020. And Lauren of Mother of Pearl actually got so excited and told me that there is a community singing song with the words of that poem as the lyrics. And she said that she sang that song in like this singing festival. We have knitting festivals, but apparently there are singing festivals where 1,000 people get together, maybe not thousands, but hundreds and 1,000 people get together and sing in huge groups of like 500 people. And she said that she sang this poem in this like very repetitive manner in a group of 500 people. And she was like, oh my God, I got chills. Like, I can't believe that you just read that poem. And so she actually sent me the song. So I'll leave the link down below so that you can listen to this poem in song version. And so that was just like, it solidified my idea, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And then I saw that Christy Glass was organizing Knit and Escape, which is a really fun like online knitting festival. So I signed up for a class with Sosu, and it's called Brioche Adventures. So I'm sure I'm gonna learn lots of things that might help me in my creative process. And I have the yarn arriving probably today from Barcelona. I chose a beautiful yarn from Feliz Punto, which is a yarn dyer from here in Spain, and the yarn is called Opalized. And as I love opal and I love semi-precious stones, I was like, this yarn is perfect. And I had Justina send it to my dear Aida of Tintica, and Aida dyed me a yarn to match with that. So now I have the two yarns to go together in brioche, and I think it's gonna be amazing. So let's see what happens. Hello, I'm coming to you today from a beautiful vitex tree, bush tree, whatever. Hello! Hello! I am coming to you today, the end of February 2021, filming from inside a beautiful vitex bush, which right now has not a flower or a leaf or anything on it, but soon we will see some flowers and leaves. I wanted to come and talk about my progress with my Beltane swap shawl. So I've got the yarn, which is super beautiful, and I have been doing some swatches, and I've already started the design. So first, let's talk about the yarn. We have this beautiful skein of luxury fingering weight from Justina of Feliz y Punto, which means happy and knitting, or happy and that's it, like y punto, like that's it. And this has cashmere and I think silk, and it's luxurious, luxurious. And I loved it. The colorway name is actually Opalized, which for me I felt was really perfect because, as you know, I love my semi-precious stones and my stitch markers, which I make with semi-precious stones. I actually am wearing a pair of opal earrings right now, which come from a beautiful Portuguese jewelry designer. Her page is called Gochi Designs. I'll put the information down below because she has amazing stuff. And actually, through her work, I was inspired to start making my stitch markers and working with all of these stones that I love. So, Opalized. And actually, Justina, who is a wonderful dyer, I actually have an interview with her in Spanish. She's originally from Poland. She speaks perfect English, Spanish, she's Polish, everything. And she lives up in Barcelona. And actually I spoke with her, and she even custom dyed this skein of Opalized because I wanted to be able to see a little bit more of the violets and purples in there. And so she said, Nicole, don't worry, I will dye up another batch and make sure that that part of the colorway really stands out. So we've got that, and remember, I'm doing a brioche design, so the other yarn I'm using with it is from my lovely Tintica, Aida. And so this is a fingering weight merino, and it was dyed with indigo, palo campeche, which is logwood in English. I'm not sure what else. I'll put the information down below because I feel like she even put chamomile in here. I think possibly. So these are the two skeins of yarn that I'm using. And now let me show you what I've got so far in the design. Well, it's living inside of this beautiful bag from Sandbags. Oh, and I'm wrapped around Oso here with the yarn, but let me show you. So I'm using these Addy needles that actually one of my students, my English students who's from Germany, he sent it to me for Christmas because him and his wife, he's been my student for many years, and him and his wife always send me like German sweets for Christmas and a Christmas card, but this year they sent me Addy needles, which I absolutely love because of how flexible the cable is. So here we go so far. So we've got a brioche cable on this gorgeous yarn. I'm really happy with it. And as you might remember, I think it'll be in the beginning of this video, I talked about the poem by John O Donohue, which is Fluent, and it says, I would love to live as a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. So I just cast on a few stitches and went for it. And this is what's coming out so far. I don't know where it's gonna go. It's gonna surprise me, and it's going to be awesome. And what I love most about brioche is that it's double-sided. So look at the cable on the back. Isn't that so cool? So the front with the main color being the Opalized, and the back with the main color being the dark Tintica color. And you can see I'm doing an I-cord border, which I think is really fun because it changes colors every round. So that's how far we've come, and I'm excited. Okay. I realized that I had my Jupiter shawl on backwards, so let me just show you this shawl because it's really cool. And this is also dyed by Tintica. Those beautiful colors. I love it. Marianella's design. And yes. Hello friends, here I am today. I have literally just cast off my Anam Cara shawl, and there's some leaves in here, but I'm so excited and proud of myself to have finished this brioche adventure. So it is an interesting shape. It starts off on this end and it goes to here. This part, when I was knitting it, I felt like it was like bubbling out and I kind of got scared. I thought it was because I had made too many increases, and I thought about going back and ripping it out, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna block it and see what happens. And the bubbliness kind of blocked out, and when you wear it, I think it looks really cool. So let me step back and show you. I've got Oso under my feet. So it kind of folds over and you can wear it, for example, like this, and I think that it gives a lot of structure here, which I love that, and I think that it's so cool. And I knit it with 2 skeins of fingering weight, and look at how much I had left. So what I did was, when I got to about half of the weight of the yarn, I started then going to the decreases, but I was getting scared, so I think I started decreasing a little bit faster, but it's okay, it's an organic shawl. So this is what I have left of the 1 skein, and this is what I have left of the other skein. I knew that I had more of this, so I wasn't scared, but I did want to do it in 2 skeins, and I think it's like such a great 2 skein shawl. So only half of it has been blocked. I'm gonna block it and make it smell really nice before I give it to my shawl swap buddy, but I think it was a serious success. Do we agree? Super success. Very proud. The other side, as it is brioche, it is reversible, but I like the contrast on this side. So if it were mine, I would wear it on that side. And I think that it's so fun. It's really soft. I still have to weave in the ends because, like I said, I just cast off. So there we go. That is my Anam Cara brioche shawl adventure, and I'm really proud of it. Okay,